Good evening. This is Andrew Frazier from Small Business Like a Pro, where the more you know, the faster you grow. Um, Great to be here with you once again for Going Live at 8:05, weekly show on Tuesday evenings, focused on entrepreneurs, small business owners, and organizational leaders, where we share best practices, um, develop resources and relationships, and also provide useful knowledge. So, again, I'm the host, and my name is Andrew Frazier. I'm the business pro at Small Business Like a Pro, where the more you know, the faster you grow. And what we do is focus on helping entrepreneurs and small business owners be able to grow their revenues, increase their profitability, and obtain financing um, based on using our expertise in financial management as well as business strategy. Excited about tonight's session. The topic is growing your small business, where we'll talk a little bit about the keys to being able to grow your small business and the type of growth that you and your business need to have in order to prepare yourself for greater success with your business. Okay, great. The format of our program this evening is, number one, we focus on best practices for about the first 10 minutes, where we're going to be talking about growing your small business. Second, we talk a little bit about upcoming events where there's great networking and opportunity to build relationships and make connections. And then third, we'll talk a little bit about useful knowledge, and usually take that from one of my experiences working with one of my clients this week, and just useful information or challenge that we've run into that we can talk a little bit about, kind of, and give you some insight into it. In case you run into the same thing, because what we find is most entrepreneurs and business owners, although it seems like you're the only one experiencing certain challenges, many of you have similar or the same challenges. So some of the things that I see and patterns that I see can be applicable to multiple businesses. So that's why I like to share useful knowledge. And really, not only do we share it here, but as you may know, I released my first book, Running Your Small Business Like a Pro. You've got a link to where you can purchase it if you're interested, but it also has more information about the book, what it's about, so you can see if that's something of interest. And growing your small business, the topic today, we take a lot of that information, some of the information out of the book and build upon it for today's topic on best practices. So growing your small business. As an entrepreneur or small business owner, definitely it's important to grow. But what does that mean? And what type of growth do you need to have? Definitely you want to grow your revenues, but before you can really do that successfully, you need to grow in 3 different areas. Number one, you need to grow in terms of grow yourself, grow in terms of your business knowledge, your expertise, your skills, your capabilities, your relationships. So your business can only go as far as you can take it. So if you're not prepared to take it where it needs to go, you're not going to be able to get it there. So there should be continually learning. You should be continually learning new things, tackling new challenges, building new relationships, and really have a plan for doing that. So, number one, you have to grow yourself and your knowledge base, because without that, as a leader of the business, you're not going to be able to make the right decisions for the business, and that's going to negatively impact your business. In addition to growing yourself, you need to grow your organization. You need organizational growth. Um, you know, You start out with personal growth, have a personal growth strategy, then shifting to organizational growth and having an organizational growth strategy. And really what we're talking about in terms of having an organizational growth strategy is really looking at how you're going to prepare your organization to grow. So what does that mean? As a solopreneur, that you only have so much time, so many hours, so much expertise. So you need to be able to prepare yourself to bring in additional help, additional employees. You need to prepare your develop systems and processes so that you can be more effective and efficient, as well as deliver a consistent product or service, regardless who is the person delivering it. And these things allow you to build capacity, because it doesn't help if you have more business than you can handle. So building capacity allows you to handle more business and grow, because if you don't have the capacity, then you're not going to be able to grow. And not enough growth is a problem, but also too much growth could be a problem. So building the capacity, looking at your organization, what does your organization need? A lot of organizations get into a lot of trouble by growing too fast because they don't have the financial resources to handle the sudden growth. We've talked about it before. It's just as easy to go out of business by growing too fast as it is by not growing at all. So, definitely having a strategy around building your organizational capacity is key. So building your personal capacity, building your organizational capacity. And then the third piece is growing your target market. Initially, when you start your business and starting out, you really want to have the smallest target market possible. You really want to have a niche rather than be mainstream. So, first of all, I've talked about in the marketing sessions that that's a challenge that a lot of small business owners have at first, being able to narrow their target market enough so that they can more effectively communicate with them. They're finding the people who they have the highest value proposition for, as well as they are targeting people who are most likely to buy their product or service. And so having the right target market is key. And most of all, if you don't market effectively, it doesn't help at all. So the target market needs to be small enough so that you can afford to market to these businesses successfully. So you have the resources to reach out to them, touch them multiple times. And even if your target market is 100 people, that might be enough depending on what type of business you have and how many clients you actually need. So initially you want to focus on having a smaller target market, but as you grow and develop yourself, your products, your capacity to deliver more, then you can, and you've built a reputation, then you can take that and build upon it and expand your target market to where you're going to get access to more people. But if you start out with too large of a target market, you're not going to be able to market effectively. You're not going to be able to communicate your value proposition as well as it could and should be. And you're subjecting yourself to a lot more competition, where you may not be the best choice for your potential clients. So definitely looking at, the key is personal growth, looking to develop yourself, your skills, continual learning in terms of book knowledge, in terms of trying new things, in terms of mentoring, coaching, in terms of developing skills, in terms of leadership, management, bookkeeping, accounting, marketing, sales. So you should always be looking to develop these things over the process of time as a business owner, because your business can't go any further than you can take it. So that's our talk on best practices today. So growing your small business, the three keys to growth. First, personal growth, organizational growth, and then growth of your target market. So, definitely, if you want to learn more, feel free to reach out. Be glad to chat with you as well. Online, released my new book, Running Your Small Business Like a Pro. You've got a link there to see more about it. And, we talk about growth and a lot more in the book on, growing your business. So, at this phase, what we do is we talk a little bit about upcoming events because it's key to get out and network, develop relationships, get access to a lot of the resources that are available for entrepreneurs and small business owners. A lot of times these resources can actually be free or at a discounted rate. So it's important to build those relationships. And here's some events where you can actually connect with people that could be of value. This coming week, actually on Thursday night, there's a networking reception downtown Newark held by the Newark Regional Business Partnership. And it's at the Trip Hotel, which is over near NJ PAC. So if you go to the Newark Regional Business Partnership website, you can register. Always have great events. So definitely something you want to consider if you're going to looking to connect. The second piece, I'm actually going to be the speaker at a meetup in downtown Newark on Monday night, on the 17th at 7:30 p.m. There's a real estate meetup group at La Rouge, and it's right on Broad Street near Symphony Hall. And usually they have 100 plus attendees. And the focus of it is on real estate and developing real estate businesses and making real estate connections. So if you have interest in real estate, what you do touches real estate in some way, come out, learn some things, connect with others. Great time. So Monday night on September 17th, 7:30 p.m. at La Rouge. Mentioning these events, actually also you can go to my webpage. If you see it on the thing, it says upcoming events and it has a link. If you go there, you can get access to the events, links to where you would register and get more information about the events. So if you didn't have a chance to write it down or keep track of it, everything's available there. In addition, we've got early next month, there's going to be a statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, their annual conference for 2018, as well as their Diversity Expo. And, they always have some pretty great events. That's going to be one of their largest events of the year. There's no cost and, well worth checking out. So if you're available, you may want to check it out. You don't have to be Hispanic. But there's a focus on Hispanic businesses and, but, it's open to everyone. And, definitely if you're interested, come check it out. They have a lot of large businesses. They have a lot of banks and other organizations that work with businesses in terms of lending, in terms of nonprofits that help provide resources for businesses. So you've got that coming up in October. And then in November 24th, we're doing the second annual Small Business Saturday event. Basically, I'm going to do my power breakfast in the morning from 8 to 10, and then Small Business Saturday is going to be there from 10 to 4 p.m. where we're going to have a lot of small business vendors. So you get a chance to connect with other small business owners, support them, or if you have a small business and you have products or a display, you're welcome to sign up as a vendor, so that you can use this as a way to generate revenues during the holidays. So Small Business Saturday at Kearney Point, very large celebration, and we're going to have activities for the family. We're going to have um, we're going to have vendors, we're going to have food, and we're going to have um, you know a little bit of entertainment. And last year's highlight was we had a paper doll making competition. And, that may not sound very exciting, but once it got started, there was definitely some people out there who were very competitive. And it turned out to be a lot of fun. And, we're able to make, a great experience for people. That was done by Angela Huggins from Angel Hugs for All, and she's agreed to come back and do that once again this year. So looking forward to having another challenge on the paper doll competition and a rematch for some people. So come on out if you have interest in that, even if you don't. If you like creativity and like to be creative, that's definitely a good opportunity. So Small Business Saturday, November 24th. What you can get there from my events website, and get more information and join us. Okay, so that's about upcoming events. So that gives you an idea of what's coming up. And then the last thing is kind of talk a little bit about useful knowledge. Definitely as a small business owner, the key to being successful is making good decisions. And how do you make good decisions? You have the best information. So part of the information is learning. That's why we do the best practices at the beginning. So it sort of educates you about some key things. We do the events because it's important to get out, make connections. You learn from other people, you connect with other people. But also we have the learning useful knowledge where, sometimes there's run into some things all the time that are just useful knowledge that I share with entrepreneurs and business owners that I'm working with. And what I like to focus on today is focus. As an entrepreneur and business owner, you have like a million things and you're going in a lot of directions. And if you have a business, you're thinking about different things and you're moving quickly. But it's important to focus, especially when you have a team involved, because if you don't, you can confuse their team and cause them to do unproductive things without even realizing it. And part of it is by giving them too many things at once to do, as well as being unclear. They're not sure what's the priority of things. So what I recommend is really having 3 key initiatives that you're focused on, and focus on those with them. And if there's other things that come up, you want to address them, but you want to really take the focus on those 3 things so you can actually move forward with them. And those 3 things can change, but at one point in time you should really only try to have 3 major things that you're focusing on, so people know what they're focusing on and have the time to focus on it, rather than moving from one thing to focus on to another thing to focus on to another thing. So really becoming a little bit more focused, more patient, and really clearly communicating what the priorities are and what the goals are, goes a very long way in terms of productivity, in terms of your team's morale, and in terms of how well your team functions together. So there you have it. Focus 3 priorities at once, no more than 3. And other things that come up, you know, you address them as much as you have to, but you really want to put those in the parking lot and make those a priority once you've completed or moving forward from one of the other priorities, rather than trying to add that in and, you know, continually adding different things that they got to focus on and making it difficult for them to understand what the priorities are. So hopefully that's helpful. You know, you may not need that now, but it's something that useful that you may run into in terms of any type of project, leadership, with your business, with your organization, working with others. So once again, Andrew Frazier, business pro at Small Business Like a Pro, where the more you know, the faster you grow. You know, look forward to catching you next Tuesday, and thanks for joining me. Take care. Have a great week.